What's up, guys? I am Cerise Taylor, and I am here on another episode of Spooling Up with Ignition Speed. I'm standing in front of Jason Ferron's R31 Skyline. He's brought it down here to South Carolina Motorsports Park for Gridlife, and we're going to go ahead and catch up with him, see if we can figure out what It Reet means, and also figure out what his future plans are, a little bit of history about the company, and general vibes. Let's go. What's up, guys? I am Cerise Taylor. I'm joined here by Jason Ferron. We're at Gridlife, South Carolina, here at Kern Raceway, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about the car and what it's like to be here in America. So, first and foremost, what's your first impression of Americans in motorsports?
In motorsports?
Yep. Had no comment on the rest.
Yeah, no comment on the rest. But when it comes to like drifting, I feel like motorsport in general, everywhere around the world where I've gone, I've definitely noticed like a very similar vibe with everyone that I come across. Probably because we've all got the same love for either, I don't know, engines and petrol and tyres and sometimes smoke. So this is my first time honestly seeing an R31 Skyline on any kind of track whatsoever. And you said these things were pretty cheap back in the day. I mean, like it was pretty like, I don't want to say lowbrow start, but like this is like not an entry car or what? You've just done a lot to it? So R31's actually the first car that I jumped in when I got into drifting. And yeah, it was probably like 600 Australian, which is 400 US. Yep. So it was a very cheap car. It was like a very common, like it was just like a cheap runaround for a lot of people. Like you'd see a lot of like grandmas driving them around. Yep. They're like known, like especially in a wagon, like a shopping cart or something like that. You know, you just throw stuff in and good to go. Yep. So yeah, it's good for tire storage. If you guys want to street drive your cars, just hop in an R31 and just load it up. How many tires do you think fit in the back of this thing? When I was moving it around in New Zealand, I'm pretty sure we fit like 8 in it using the front seats. This thing has been in New Zealand, it's been Australia, America. Where else have you taken it? That's it. That's it? Okay, cool. I mean, it's known all around the world. That's pretty cool. At least here in South Carolina, people are breaking their necks over this thing, which is really cool to see, especially considering that I've known you before this event. To see you having such like a warm welcome for the car itself, but then also your family that's joining you is really cool, honestly. So that's why we're here. People are dope, and it's what keeps us coming back. So it's definitely cool to be here and obviously have the car. It's probably the most commonly asked question is, what car is that? I asked it. I should probably invest in a sign with all the information on the car. But just get a t-shirt. It's also kind of fun finding out what like they think it is before I tell them what it is. Yep. It's been called a Subaru, Maxima, I don't know, pretty much any car that comes in a wagon, Stager. But yeah, that's definitely cool. It Reet does definitely like keep you busy back home, but you've decided to take a step back from the business, at least how you've known it so far, come to the States. I mean, what's the goal behind that? What's the purpose? Like the whole business is just basically see what happens. Okay. Like where we started, it's always just been go with the flow and like try things out and see where it goes, and that's definitely a lot of the direction of, you know, how this has all come about. We like played with moving just into a more northern state in Australia, and I was like, nah, this is not going to work. So I was always playing with the idea of sending the car to the States, but wasn't sure how that would work, if I just fly back and forward or what. And yeah, it turned out moving here was the best solution. So yeah, we ended up getting a 2-year visa after a lot of effort. You got 2 years? And okay. And yeah, so that was like, to be fair, it was like a month before sending the cars. Is when we got the actual approval for that. But he's just out here on hopes and dreams, like praying it falls together. Going with the flow and seeing where it goes, and most of the time it's worked out pretty well. I mean, the business was basically just like it started getting mates on track and having a good time. The name was never anything serious, and it just stuck and everyone loved it. So I just kept on flowing, see where it go. I keep seeing you like pop up on the internet and things like that. So hopefully in a good way. Yeah, 100%. Like you're just at events and you're out here, and I see you doing photo shoots, and I see you doing like runs with all these people that I know on the internet myself in all these different places. So where have you been so far, and where are you gonna go next? Just the next stop. Once again, no idea. Just going with the flow. No. Oh, for real? He's like literally no plan. Okay. Okay. Yeah. The wife Danielle is the planner. I just like throw ideas into like a never-ending like iPhone notes. And then we just like, oh yeah, that'll work. So far in the States, we've been just the east side. So this is our first tour. We've gone down to Florida, down to see Adam and Cletus, and we went on the way through to Alabama and checked out an event, the Mid-Pond Spring Break, which is cool.
That's when I saw you at last,
And now we worked our way back from Florida up here to my first Gridlife, which has been really cool so far. I got one more day to go.
Cool. I had a question for you. So you've been driving for how many years now?
I think I'm coming on, I don't know. I started when I was 18.
First year ever.
Started when I was 18.
Okay.
And I'm 33 now, so that would be 14 years, something like that.
What was the first chassis you ever drove in? For drifting, anyways.
Funnily enough, the R31. Well, technically, the other car that I brought here to the States, which is a Holden VL Commodore, or VL Turbo, commonly known in Australia. No one knows them here.
I was going to say, that's also a vehicle that you're gonna put that in the paddock, and everyone's going to also ask you, what the hell is this?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And so that was the first car I tried to drift in, and eventually rode off, but I won't talk about that.
Yeah.
And when I found out what cars made sense, it was a toss-up, I think, between like a Cressida, I think.
What?
Cressida.
One more time.
I think they're similar to a JZ. I don't know.
A Cressida. I'm making funny around it. It's okay. So would you ever raffle this thing off?
No.
No? It's yours. It's yours
Never.
forever.
It's mine forever.
Okay.
It's a part of me.
Okay. Alrighty. And as far as your boys go, I mean, like, I was talking to them earlier. I show up to his trailer, and they're just playing with Hot Wheels and monster trucks and everything. They all have great spirits. I mean, you guys have clearly done a great job raising them. They're very confident. They're very sure of themselves. What would be something that you hope for them, as far as whether it comes to cars or life in general?
That's a deep question, and I got no idea. Same thing, go with the flow. Nah. I mean, it's up to them. Like, I feel like my parents were just like, whatever you enjoy, go for it. So yeah, definitely pass that same thing, and I think my wife Danny and I have the same idea. It's just whatever you're passionate about, go for it. Similar to what I've done, just find out what I'm firstly good at, then enjoy, and try and lean, in my life direction into what I enjoy. So yeah, I mean, obviously there's a big influence on cars and motorsport, but at the same time I grew up riding bikes and whatever else to fill my time. So I just let them do what they like.
Did you and Luke have a background in biking and BMX and everything? Is that
I think if you talk to probably 80 or 90% of drifters, and they'll come from either a BMX or skateboarding background, because it directly translates. As soon as you get your license, you're trying to get that adrenaline rush out of a car, and you end up wasting all your money.
You see that meme online, and it's like, so for all of the washed up skater boys and BMX riders, how's the car scene treating you?
Pretty much.
Apparently pretty well. Well, that's cool. Awesome. And we're glad that you're here. We're glad that we got to have this time to catch up and catch you on an interview. And I mean, we're here. Are you going to do the LZ World Tour? Are you going to go to Canada?
Yeah, I'm going to do the Canada. Will probably be the only round I'll be able to do this year. Trying to make it work with everything else going on, and trying to make most of obviously being here in the States. Would love to go to all the other rounds, which I did 3 out of 4 last year, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But this year, just trying to go with the flow and see where we end up. Cool. So it'll be cool to do Canada. So keen to be there.
First and foremost, what does Keep It Reet mean?
So Keep It Reet started just as a thing. We put zero thought into the name when I first started it. It was literally just like a joke to flip off of Keep It Street, which was going on at the time. It was like a big thing. Oh yeah, keep it street. Let's go to the mountain, the hills. And I was all about track drifting, so I organised a day to get my friends on the track. Basically, it was just a private day. And so we did a flip off. It was Keep It Reet, which means keep it relaxed and off the street, was the term we used. So it was just a joke basically, and it stuck. Everyone loved the day so much. I was like, oh, we'll just keep going and we'll just stick with that same name.
Awesome.
And here we are.
So it's not just you though. You got to have business partners and stuff, right? So who's back home?
Me and the wife, the owner, and basically just slowly built up a team. And the ones that have put the were the most passionate and put the most effort in moved up the ranks to managers. So we've now got 4 managers back home for the workshop, media, socials and marketing, and the events.
Okay. And I know that you're here in the States. You guys are kind of doing like, I guess kind of like a world tour, since you're across continents at this point. And you've been to, you think, Alabama, Florida, you're here in South Carolina, so you're going up the East Coast. Where are you going to go next?
Next up is, I think we're going back home, so we've done the probably about a month or so on the road. So next stop's back home, then I think we've got either Drift Appalachia, or the E-Town Gambler, and then Final Bout, I think, is the next few events we've got lined up. But there's so many going on, it's crazy. So just got to try and figure out what makes the most sense and go with that. That's
really cool that you're going to hit up Drift Appalachia, because that's such a unique event. I was talking to one of the guys when we were out in California at the World Tour, and it just is, it's really special. So I think that's going to be cool. How have you felt about Gridlife and being down here?
It's been amazing. So I've lost my Gridlife virginity now.
Nice.
So it's I made it all the way through 3 days. I've seen a lot of drifters pack up.
Yeah.
But I'm here, and I ran the last main track session, destroyed many tyres, as you can see behind. So thanks to Vital for sorting me out there. But yeah, the car's made it all the way through. Only thing I lost is a rear bumper, which I've still got to find.
What happened?
Your wheel fell off?
Wheel. My wheel fell off. But she's back on now.
But so much fun. I love the high-speed stuff. This car is literally made for it. Still cool to have the option to go back to the kart track and bang some doors with the boys, but it's been amazing. Yeah, Gridlife is a sick event.
Nick Swan had a lot of good things to say about the go-kart track. It's really tight, like it's technical, but it's a lot of fun, so that's really cool. How do you feel about drifting and drifting this car and like the community itself? Like, what do you want people to know about drifting?
That's a hard question. It's basically just a good time. It's an amazing community. Like one thing we push back home is like men's mental health, because everyone needs something, and to avoid the drugs and alcohol or whatever, to abuse that. I find drifting and just any kind of hobby that keeps you away from that is amazing, and there's just such a cool community. Everyone's so like-minded. Like a lot of BMX skateboarders have come from that sport straight into drifting, and it's just the same. Like it's like everyone hanging out at a skate park, like talk some crap in between the runs, go back out there, and your best mate's on track just having a good time, like all shredding tires.
I think that's one thing that's like, it's like a dopamine overload every time you come to one of these events. I think that's one of the reasons a lot of us stay addicted to drifting and coming out to the track and just like being with the homies. So that's really cool. I'm really glad that you guys are doing a lot for men's mental health. I think that a lot more men need an outlet like that. So if you guys are watching at home, definitely be sure that you're following Jason and keep it Reet, and you know, give him some love. Show the boys your appreciation for not only what you're doing for the community all around the world, but just in general, like the giveaways and all the fun stuff that you're doing, right?
For sure.
So awesome. All right, cool. Who helps bring you to these places? Who do you want to say thank you to?
So we've got a lot of amazing supporters and sponsors from home, and a few that cross-pollinate between over here, and a few new ones that we've had come on over here, which is amazing. So definitely got to shout out the fresh US support we've been getting, which is Vital Tires. Kansai Wheels has been a long time supporter, which is awesome. Drift Runner the game, you can actually get the wagon in the Drift Runner game and drive our local track, which is pretty cool, run the wall there, which is great. And then all the home support like Haltech, Radium's actually here too, Plasma Man, Hypergear Turbos, there's a long list, so I'll just rattle it out and you can edit this.
Can we show all the sponsors on the screen right
we'll
here?
We'll show all the sponsors.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly look around and check them all. We got Nitto, we got Motul, SP Tool, MPC clutch, Costal steering, Optima battery, Shockworks suspension, Raceworks, Autobahn, Pertec Bayswater, and I think we're pretty close to that list. If I forgot any, let's just throw them up on the screen. It's so hard to remember.
Tons of support, both just like in the community with your homies and with the companies that help get you here, which you're very deserving. Your whole family has been wonderful. We're happy to have you in the States, and we'll be seeing you around the world.
It's been great, and it's always good teaming up with Ignition Speed, so make sure you support them back too.
Absolutely. Make sure that you're following Jason Ferron on all social platforms. Make sure that you're following Keep It Reet. See what they got going on. See if you want to join their raffle if you're in Australia. Make sure that you catch us on the next Spoolin Up. And until then, catch you later.